Hi, Jam Kids. This is Miss Yvonne. I am so glad to be back with you. I have a story for you tonight. So, do you have your jammies on? Your favorite stuffed animal? Probably don't need a blanket. It's getting pretty warm, isn't it? Okay, let's get started. This is a story about a little Korean girl long time ago, and she lived in a war-torn country. That means there was war happening in her country. And there were people who did not want Christians in their country. And so these soldiers came into the little girl's village. And during that time, the little girl and her family and all the other church members were in their church hiding. Well, the soldiers came to the church and they said, "We're going to put up a picture of Jesus, and we want you to go by and you're going to spit on it. And if you don't spit on it, we'll shoot you." And so everybody was very worried in the congregation. Well, one of the big leader men, he went by and he spit on the picture. And then another person from the church went by and they spit on the picture. And then they pointed to the little girl and they said, you go by and spit on the picture. And she walked up to the picture of Jesus and she had tears running down her face. And she took her little dress and she lifted it and she wiped off the picture of Jesus. She didn't want that spit on there. And she said, "I could never, ever spit on Jesus. He's my Lord and Savior, and I love him." And the soldiers stood back and they said, "Do you realize you have to spit on that picture or we're going to shoot you?" And she said, "I know, I heard what you said, but I could never spit on my dear friend Jesus." And the soldiers stopped and they looked at each other and they weren't sure what to do. So they got in a little group and they talked about it and they said, "You're the kind of person we want to be in our villages. You can live." And they let all the rest of the people in the church live. If that's how you feel about your Jesus, we admire that. So you can live. And so they were an example to the soldiers of how to stand up. The people who did spit on the picture of Jesus, I'm afraid they lost their lives. You know, it's not always easy to be a Christian. Sometimes we really do have to stand up against some very scary circumstances. But Jesus promises to be with us, and he promises to give us courage if we will just ask. Okay, that's your story for tonight. Thanks a lot, Jam Kids. You have a good Sabbath. I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.